Okay, guys, thanks for joining. Today we are going to discuss this chapter. Okay, making robots ready for real world. I mean, it's all about like web interfaces, app development using ROS. Okay, so last class we have been discussing about the continuous integration, like um, from creation of your ROS package to the deployment. Okay, we have talked about like Docker first, and then we have seen some continuous integration services like Travis CI, GitHub Actions, and using that, how to do the continuous integration. So that will make sure your code will work fine, building fine. And then we have seen how to release your package to the main ROS repository using a tool called Bloom. Okay, so these were the things that we have seen in the last class. Okay, and this class we will be discussing on like how to interact with a ROS based robot. Okay, it can be a simulation, it can be anything like that is working using ROS, interacting using a web page, okay, web application, and an Android application. Okay, so this is the main part that I am planning to discuss. So there are some content, these are robots, ROS. So these actually added by another company. I think I can include this maybe on ROS 2 because they are currently emphasizing on ROS 2. But these set of content, these set of topics that I have added. Okay, so we will be mainly discussing the robot web tools, ROS Java. Okay, and other content maybe we can I think mention in the ROS 2 session. So there is a company called Inobit. Maybe I can share. So we actually collaborated with Inobit for just a second. Innovate for like the education because they are actually working on some cloud-based platform for robotics application. So there are some specific Innovate specific thing like they are providing the CI/CD pipeline. Then we can actually like deploy ROS application or robot application on the cloud. So this is the Innovate robot application development portal, I guess. Yeah. So we will be discussing that maybe later. Yeah. So mainly like they are supporting ROS and ROS 2, but currently their focus is on ROS 2. Yeah. So it seems like you can see here from the documentation. It is like I think we can integrate or like deploy our ROS application on this portal. Okay, so we have collaborated with Inobit for for discussing about the ROS, robotics as a service, something like that. So we will be including in the ROS 2 session. Okay, so from this chapter we can discuss these things like the ROS web tools and the ROS Java. Okay, so we have two more chapters remaining. Maybe next week we can complete it. So this chapter, let's start. Okay, so I'm not sure how many of you encountered the following issue. So maybe let me take a PowerPoint and I can explain what we are going to discuss today. Okay, so you have created a ROS robot or a ROS gazebo. Just a second. ROS gazebo. Oh, ROS gazebo simulation. Okay, you have created, and if you want to interact with this robot, for example, if you want to control the robot, okay, from a GUI. GUI means like some window based application, okay. um, you have some options like RQT, RVs plugins, okay. You can create it, and then you can interact with this robot, okay. So this RQT plugin can be on the same machine or in a different machine that is interconnected through a common network, okay. That is one way of doing. What about interacting to a ROS based robot from a web application? So imagine you have a web application, okay, web application, and this web application application can be hosted in anywhere. It can be in a local machine, it can be in a server, okay, it can be, I mean, anywhere, okay. An example for a web application is like React JS. You may have heard about the React JS. If you simply search for React JS, it is one of the popular JavaScript library for building this kind of web-based application. Not only web-based, also you can create mobile applications using React, okay. So if you want to control your robot from a web application, if we are like going with that kind of situation, then today's session we will be like discussing how to approach, okay, how to approach, like if we have a web application, how to interact with your simulation or your real robot from the web application, okay. So how we can do this, okay. The same situation, like if you have a mobile application, specifically Android or iOS application. Here I'm specifying Android or iOS application, okay. So you may have seen there are some robots, they have a mobile app to control the robot, okay, like move forward, move backward, all this stuff you can do from the mobile app. So in case if you want to create a mobile app to control your robot, okay, then how we can approach it, what are the different methods, okay. So we already mentioned that using the web application framework like React JS, we can create mobile apps as well, okay. But if you want to get the full potential of Android or iOS, then we may have to create the native application, okay. So in order to control your robot, or in order to create a GUI, okay, to like steer the robot, create the map and visualize the robot, we have set of pre-built framework available in ROS, okay. So that's what we are going to discuss in today's session, okay. So first we will be starting with web applications, how to create simple web application. In today's for demo we are simply using some HTML pages to see how we can interact with ROS system from the web application, okay. So let's start. After that we can discuss the Android. So it is not at all difficult. If you just search for ROS lib or like ROS libjs or ROS web tools, you will get a website. I think this is the important website you can refer, okay. ROS robot web tools, okay. So this is having all the things that we are going to discuss today related to the web application. So you can see like how we can interact to a ROS based robot from the like browser. Okay, from the browser. Okay, so let's see what's going on. Okay, so maybe I can explain how we can do that. Yes, so again I'm taking the PowerPoint, taking a new slide. Okay, so here again we have the ROS robot or a ROS based laptop. Okay, ROS based laptop. Currently, like, this is my ROS based machine. Okay, so like if I am just starting the ROS code, if I'm getting it, yeah, it's a ROS based PC, right? So if you have a robot or like a machine which is having ROS installed and you can start ROS code, that is what I am referring here. Okay, ROS based robot or ROS based PC. Okay, and what are the main communication capabilities of ROS? Like, you can use ROS topic, ROS services, ROS actions. So these are the three main communication protocol that we are not protocol communication, different types of communication that we are using in ROS, right? So in order to create a publisher or subscriber, if you want to create a publisher or subscriber in C++, we can use ROS CPP. Okay, we already seen like we can write a ROS CPP based code, and it can use for publishing and subscribing, right? And if you want to create a publisher and subscriber in Python, we have ROS Py. Okay, and if you want to work with Java, we have ROS Java. Okay, similarly, if you want to work with JavaScript, we have ROS libjs. Okay, so I'm not sure you're familiar with JavaScript. I'm not also like not very familiar, but I mean, it's very easy, like you can understand what is going on. Okay, so what I'm trying to say is that if you want to interact with a ROS based environment, if you want to like create publisher, subscriber, or anything in different languages, that is actually available. Okay, in ROS, most of the language interface is available. Okay, so we are actually deleting ROS CPP and ROS Py. We already discussed that. We can discuss ROS Java and ROS libjs. ROS Java, like Android is actually based on Java, right? So ROS Java can be used for in the case of Android, and ROS libjs is for the web-based applications. Okay, so using ROS libjs, that is what you can see here. You can see ROS libjs, ROS 2D.js, ROS 3D.js. Okay, so you can see here it's a ROS JavaScript library. For what? ROS libjs is actually for, like, it's the same. Like, you can publish, you can subscribe, you can create an action, you can call an action, you can call a service, anything. Okay, so the ROS libjs based application is on this side, and we have ROS based PC here. Okay, so in case of ROS CPP, there is nothing in between. Like, you can create nodes and it can communicate. But in case of ROS libjs clients, I can show you just a second. There is an intermediate node actually available. It's called ROS bridge. Okay, ROS bridge. you can understand like what is a ROS bridge is. It's a bridge between, it's a intermediate node between a non ROS based application. Okay, here it is web application connecting to the ROS based PC or ROS based robot. Okay, so what happening is that this ROS bridge that you can also see here, ROS bridge, I can share the link. It's called ROS bridge suite, and the ROS bridge is actually acting as a intermediate program for ROS libjs, ROS libpy, ROS librust. So if you are planning to work with JavaScript, and yeah, you can also use Python in web application. So if you are using Python in web application like Django, you can use ROS libpy. So all these technologies, all these client libraries, we can specifically say these all are client libraries. I hope you know about the client libraries. The client libraries, we have to use the ROS bridge. So what is the function of ROS bridge? It is like a conversion. Like the ROS libjs is communicating to ROS bridge, and maybe in some type of like JSON format. Okay, JSON format. Okay, and what the ROS bridge does is that it will be converting into ROS topics or ROS action or service. Okay, I mean, and vice versa. Like from the ROS robot, we will get the ROS topic, right? It will be converting into JSON format and it will be updating in the web application. Okay, so this is what happening in a web application. So in order to run a ROS based web application, if you want to ensure the connection is proper, you should run the ROS bridge. Okay, it's already, I mean, inbuilt. It's a inbuilt node that you can simply run. Okay, so hope you got an idea like how these interaction works. So basically the web-based application uses mainly JavaScript and Python. So in order to interact with a ROS-based PC or ROS-based robot, we have to use an intermediate bridge program called ROS bridge, which is acting as a translator between web-based data, which is mainly JSON format, into the ROS base. Okay, and this web application can be hosted locally. You can host it on the server. In any part you can host. Okay, so you can simply interact with a web application if you know the IP. Okay, if you know the IP, you can simply interact. Okay, so let's see how we can do this. Okay, so maybe I can start with an example so you will get a clarity like how this things works. So there are many tutorial in the ROS wiki itself, so we can simply start with some examples. So you guys can also do it. If you have the ROS system, you can simply try it. Let me just try with yeah, action lib client. Let me check for a simple example, a basic ROS functionality. Yeah, okay, how to run it. Yeah, so this is what we are going to try. Just a second. So what about like trying out this example and then jump into the explanation. Okay, so if you want to run it, it's very simple. What you can do is you can simply download this repository. Okay, if you want to run it, just download this, and there is an examples folder. Okay, so maybe I can show you. After that, maybe you can try. So the instructions are here. just go down and you can see how to run these examples. Okay, after that I can explain. So it's simply like taking taking the terminal. Just a sec. I'm just splitting into multiple terminals. Okay. Yes. So the first thing is like you have to run the ROS code. Okay, that we already done. And for this example, there is a command like for publishing a topic called listener. Okay, we are publishing a string value to the listener. Okay, so just copy paste into the terminal. Yeah, so it is running, and now there is a topic for echoing the command velocity. So the command velocity, we are expecting that the command velocity is coming from the web application. Okay, so for that we are simply doing it, and then we are running a service example which is add to ins server. Okay, so the web application can act as a client and then it will call the service. Okay, and finally we can see we are starting the ROS bridge. So this is how we can start the ROS bridge. Okay, so in order to install, you can see here the ROS launch space ROS bridge server ROS bridge WebSocket. Okay, so in order to install ROS bridge server, just go to Synaptic and you can simply search for ROS bridge. Okay, it's already there. You don't need to build ROS bridge. Okay, so you can see here sorry, so you can install this ROS bridge suite. You can install ROS bridge suite. Maybe I can give the command for the same. So sudo apt install ROS Noitic ROS Noitic ROS bridge suite. Okay, so this is a command to install the bridge. I'm just giving it, and what we require is running the ROS bridge. So simply copy paste. So we have run the ROS bridge. So it is like printing some messages like ROS API started, then WebSocket server starting 90. So it seems like the ROS bridge web server started on localhost on a port called 9090. Okay, so these are the setup that we have done. Now we are going to start the web application. Okay, so what I did was I just downloaded the web application, I mean this repository that I mentioned, this one. Okay, I just simply downloaded it into my PC, and we have the examples, right? I'm just taking the examples. We are trying this example like symbol.html. Okay, symbol.html. So just opening in a web browser. Okay, in Firefox. I'm simply opening it. So when you open, you can see here it is like printing something, symbol roslib example, and in order to run this example you have to run all these commands. Okay, we already done that, and when you have run all these things, you can see here there is a message called connected. Okay, connected, and I don't know you have tried this. If you just right click on your web browser, there is an option called inspect. Okay, inspect. I can explain what is inspect is. And this inspect is mainly for inspecting your page. Like you can see how the HTML tags are written, and you can disable it. I mean, you can just experiment with your web page. Okay, and there is an option in the inspect page, or if you are working on Firefox, you can simply press capital Q. You can see an option called console. Okay, console. Console is actually for working with, or can be it is for like mainly for debugging the JavaScript. Okay, so I can explain what is HTML and what is JavaScript. So like HTML is like a markup language. You can just create headers, you can create paragraph, you can like create a skeleton for your web page. Okay, and there is another technology called CSS, cascade style sheet, which is actually giving the aesthetics like coloring. Then like you can beautify your page. Okay, you can just say like the text should be like this. You can add colors. You can beautify the page. Okay, and then there is JavaScript can be used for getting a programmability in your web page. Okay, for example, if you want to add two numbers, okay, using HTML, you can create maybe some like box to enter the number, and using JavaScript you can take that number and you can do the programming. Okay, both this HTML and CSS are not a programming languages. It's a markup language. Okay, it doesn't have any not intelligence, but it's simply for like structuring. Okay, whereas JavaScript is a programming language. We can use a JavaScript inside this HTML page. Okay, I hope you got an idea. Okay, so if you just take the console, you can see there are some messages like you run a ROS node, connection made, receive message in listener, hello world. Okay, you can able to see, right? Hello world from listener, result for service colon add two ins is 3. Then there is like showing the node list, and then there is another value called maxval, and robot favorite color is red. So just think how this communication is happening. The ROS topic that we have seen, the listener is publishing from a ROS terminal. ROS based machine. Okay, ROS based machine, and we have a service server which is already ran. You can see here it actually called. So 1 plus 2. What this example server does is that if you just send two numbers to this server, it will simply add it and return the result. So some client or service actually called, and you can see the result here. Also, a command velocity is published here. Okay, and in the ROS bridge you can see there is a client connected. One client is got connected. So who is responsible for this? This one. Okay, so this page is acting as the client program. Okay, this page means the JavaScript code inside it. Okay, so basically we are communicating using JavaScript, using ROS client API. Here it is ROS libjs. So using ROS libjs, you can create JavaScript application. Okay, JavaScript based web application, and you can interact with your ROS based system. Okay, so what is advantage? You can create a page and you can monitor the topics. Then you can put a button, and when you press the button, the robot will do something. Okay, you can see the map is getting created. You can control the robot. Okay, so there are many use cases for this. Okay, so this is how we can debug it. Like just go to the queue, inspect, and then take the console and you can see all these messages. Okay, and there is also an update here in the page itself. It is showing the connected. Okay, in case if I'm just stopping the ROS bridge, okay, I'm just stopping the ROS bridge, and then you can see here the message got updated, connection closed. Here also connection closed. And if I am reloading this page, you can see here error in the backend, connection closed. And also you can see Firefox can't establish a connection to the server on localhost, connection closed. But if I am starting the ROS bridge and if I'm taking it and just refreshing it, you can see it's connected and all these things are executed. Okay, so just want to know, like, did you understand how, I mean the logic behind how the communication is happening? So like I have discussed in the diagram, there is a ROS machine, we have a ROS libjs web application, or a HTML page or a web application, for example, and it is creating clients, it is creating topics, subscribers, all these things, and there is an intermediate node which is the ROS bridge. So if you have any question, let me know, guys, like regarding the logic. I will be explaining the code after this, so just want to know like how did you get the logic or not? Yeah, Archit, do you have anything to say?
No, Professor. I'm just switch devices.
Okay, no problem. I think it's simple, right? The concept is straightforward. Okay, I hope this is clear to you. Okay, now let me switch to the code. Okay, let me switch to the code. So I know not everyone knows HTML and JavaScript, but in this case you just need to use the logic. That's it. Okay, that's it. Okay, so this is the simple HTML code that we have seen. Simple, this thing, simple HTML. Maybe I can directly open this HTML in a text editor. That is also fine. Okay. Don't worry about the lines or something. But it's actually pretty simple. Just a sec. Okay. So this is a page that we are currently using, guys. So here I mentioned that we are using two technologies, which is HTML and JavaScript. Okay, so there is a template, or there is a syntax for HTML. Like we have the HTML starting tag, and inside that we can add anything, and there is an HTML closing tag. So this is mandatory. Okay, otherwise HTML will make troubles. And inside that we can create bodies, division. It's all for like, creating the structure. Like you can put headings, paragraph. You can add like bullets, numbered bullets, all these things. So HTML is actually creating a structure. You can see like the ROS core, ROS topic pub. You have seen in the terminal. This one, right? So all these things are doing by HTML. Okay, HTML. And when you just take this page, when you click this page, along with HTML, there are some scripts are also running. Okay, so the JavaScript is one thing that you can include on your HTML page. So you can see here we have included, like you include a header file on your C++ node. We can include some headers or some modules from your local machine or some servers. So this is what the first two lines, like it is including some modules. Okay, so what should be the modules? It is actually the ROS libjs. Okay, ROS libjs. That is the ROS library for working with JavaScript. Okay, and then we are starting using the ROS libjs APIs or ROS libjs functions. So these are the line to to establish a connection to the ROS environment. There is a function called roslib.ros. Okay, so if this function, okay, so this function will call immediately when you load the page. Okay, and if ROS is actually the object here. Okay, so we are simply creating an object of roslib.ros, and if it is an error, then you can see here, like if there is an error in the backend, it will print us error. Okay, connecting or something. If it is not, okay, if it is not, it will be printing connection made. Okay, okay, and there are different situations, like if it is closed, then it will be printing connection closed. So you can see here console.log. So what will be this function does? Console.log. We have seen the console here, right? So console.log is simply printing the message. So for example, if I'm just changing connection made, comma, hey, it's Lentin. Okay, I'm simply added, and then if I'm just refreshing this page now, you can see here connection made, hey, it's Lentin. Okay, so it's simply for printing in the console. Okay, so the first thing is these sections is actually like making sure if there is a connection to the backend, connection to the ROS bridge exactly. Okay, if it is a connection, then it will try to connect to this IP and port. Okay, you can change this. Like if you host the web application in a different IP, you can host it. You can change the IP of the localhost to the main IP. Also the port you can change. So this function will be try to connect. Okay, and after connecting, what you can simply do is you can do the publishing, subscribing, action server, action call, everything you can do. Okay, so here you can see here like you created a command velocity topic object. Okay, so if you have, you can see the command is also there. We are creating a topic object in which we can like publish command velocity. Okay, and the message type is geometry twist. Okay, and this is a dummy twist data. Okay, this is a message definition. Okay, and here you can see we publish that twist. So we have seen this message, right, on this terminal. We are getting like 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, minus 0.1, this one. Okay, so basically that is from here. Okay, so from these two lines, what we are doing is we are creating a topic object for publishing. Here is the message definition with the data, and here we are publishing it. That's it. So we have done a publishing. Okay, and next we can see there is a subscriber we are creating. So in order to subscribe from a topic, you can see we are creating the topic object. Okay, even if it is a publisher or subscriber, we have to create the topic object, and then we can create a callback. Okay, callback. So currently, like we are only like creating or running the callback once. So here you can see listener.subscribe. This is a callback function message. So if there is any topic in the if there is any data publishing on the listener, this callback will be calling, And what is the callback does? It will be printing a message, received a message on, and the message dot data. Okay, so we can see the console here. You can see here received message on listener, and the data is hello world. Okay, and after that, like it is unsubscribing. So if you are not unsubscribing, we will get the callback again. Okay, let me just do an experimentation. I'm just commenting the unsubscribe, and let's see how it is working. So just want to see whether it is keep on subscribing it. Yeah, I think it's not. I need to check it anyway. So we can anyway like keep on subscribing the message. I mean the listener topic here. Okay, and after this we can see here we are calling a service. Okay, here we are calling a service. So we are creating the service object, service client object. Okay, in the object we are giving the name of the service type, then we are creating the service message, okay, with the data. So for this example service we need to give two values, like we need to pass two values for getting the sum of it, and then we are calling that service. So that is what we are saying, result for service call on. So if you just check result for service call on. Okay, and after that we can see there is another service server. Okay, service server. This is a service server, guys. So the service server name is setbool. Okay, and so if you just call this service, this callback will be calling. Okay, I just want to check. I think, yeah, I think we are not calling this anyway, but we can actually create a service server by this set of instruction. Okay, and even we can call the ROS parameter, which is actually a good thing. Like we can read a ROS parameter here. There is a parameter called maxwell_y. Okay, so we are setting that parameter and then we are getting it. So from the ROS lib.js we can set a parameter and get a parameter. Interesting, right? And also like we can even, yeah, this is also like getting a parameter, it seems like. Yeah, so we have seen various stuff. Like all this script is actually running inside the script tag. Okay, so that you should note that if you want to run the JavaScript, you have to start with the script tag. Okay, so here you have to include the external script, like include modules, and inside the script tag you can mention all the JavaScript related functions. Okay, I hope you got a clarity in this. Okay, and this is a basic stuff. Okay, all the other tutorials is like, I mean, it's the same thing. It is demonstrating different APIs and all. Okay, maybe we can run another example. Let me just take so there is example for like URDF parser, then publishing video, URDF parser, slip.js. So even we will get the URDF. Okay, we will get the URDF. So let me check if this package is available so that I can show you. Just a second. Let me close all this stuff. Okay, I'm just switching into another example. Like This example will be for um, um, reading the URDF value, okay, URDF parameters. So let me just start the PR2 description. Okay, PR2 description is there. So I'm simply running it, okay, simply running it. Okay, ROS core is already running. I'm just sharing the tutorial that I'm trying. And after that, so which is the page that I want to take, the urdf.html. Okay, so I'm just taking urdf.html, and let's see, just a second. I think there is an error in the backend because I didn't start the ROS bridge. Okay, so now I'm just refreshing it. So you can see here it is got connected, and now I'm taking the console, and you can see here the URDF data. Okay, URDF, you can see the joins. Okay, you can see the links. Okay, you can see the material, all this stuff you can check. Okay, so in this example, what happening is that we are actually starting a launch file. Okay, we are starting a launch file which is pr2 description upload pr2.launch. Okay, so what it does is that it will be storing the URDF in a ROS parameter called robot description. Okay, and what this page does is that it is reading that parameter. That's it. So if you just open this urdf.html, you can see like we are connecting to the ROS bridge, and we are simply getting the value of a parameter called robot description, and then you can see here that value, is passing to another function called URDF model. Okay, so we are not simply reading that parameter, but we are like parsing that parameter using another function called URDF model. Okay, and then then it is printing. Okay, then that parsed URDF model is printing. So that's what you are going to see. Okay, you already seen that parsed URDF model. Okay, yes, so like that there are many examples. Okay, so if you just ROS libjs API, I think you can able to see all the the JS doc, I guess. Yeah, so this is the documentation for ROS libjs. Okay, so you can find I mean the functions, various functions, various sub modules present on ROS libjs, and various classes present. So we have seen the URDF model, right? So if you check the URDF model, you will get the options. Okay, what is the input and what is the output. Okay, so likewise there are many examples in ROS libjs. Okay, and by the way, we can explore the next version of ROS libjs. Next version means some add-ons. Okay, there is ROS 2D.js and 3D.js. Okay, ROS 2D.js and 3D.js. So I think you have an idea, like 3D.js means like it will be working like RVs. 2D.js means you can plot some values, you can visualize some images, all this stuff. Okay, maybe we can simply, I mean the concept is the same anyway. Okay, so we can simply try, right? So let me check the ROS 2D.js and 3D.js repository. I'm just sharing it. Okay, then 3D.js is here. So this is where the things are getting interesting. Okay, so I don't know, like we need to install it, but what I'm trying to do is I'm simply downloading it and trying. Okay, let's see. First, the ROS 2D.js. So what I'm doing is I'm just taking my browser, going to this and then downloading it. Okay, and I'm simply extracting it. Okay, and now going to the examples. So here yeah, so this example, no, this example is for visualizing a map. Okay, visualizing a map. So we can just try it. So we have the ROS core and ROS bridge working, and now we can visualize, I mean run a map. Okay, run a map. We have carto map.yml in my PC. So what I'm doing is I'm simply running this command, map server. Okay, the command is ROS run map server. Okay, and the name of the map. Okay, I think there is some issues in that given map. Let me take another map, maybe turtleboat3.pgm. Okay, so in order to do that, I'm just checking checking to the desktop, and instead of carto, okay, maybe could not be opened. Okay, so we have to provide the YAML. Okay, yes, so we have started the ROS core, started the map server and the ROS bridge. Now it's the time for starting the examples. Let's see it is working or not. I'm not sure because I only tested because there was some issues with the 2D.js and 3D.js before, some dependency issue. But let's see it is working now or something. Yes, it is working. Okay, so here what you are seeing is we are visualizing the map of the map that we are like publishing. Okay, so if you are working with an autonomous navigation application, you can simply visualize the map like this. Okay, so there is another parameter like we need to mention 0.05. I think then only it will be like fit into the view, I guess. Just a second. Failed to open unsupported image. Okay, it's 0.05 only. Yeah, so yes. Okay, so that is a map example, and let's see if there is any other interesting example. So let me just close this, and okay, image example, image draw. Okay, these are interesting. What is draw HTML? Okay. So it's simply a canvas to draw, I guess. Okay, so so I just want to like take that draw.html in Firefox, and yeah, okay, this is interesting. So you can like create I mean this kind of thing inside the viewport. Okay, so I'm not sure, like this can be used for maybe some ROS based application. Okay, like if you want to like a map a specific area or something, you can use this kind of API. Okay, just a demonstration. And next is the interesting stuff for me, image visualization. Okay, image visualization. So yeah, so let me check. Yeah, it's almost the same thing, but if you have an image from the webcam, you can visualize it on this page as well. So what I am doing is I'm running the map and taking the image.html. Yes, so this seems like it is actually visualizing an image file, that is this one. Okay, this is what it's trying to visualize, map.png. So it's simply visualizing one image. Okay, this one. Okay, so these are the various examples in 2D.js, and if you check the code, I mean it's almost the same. Like there are the include libraries actually change, but if you check these functions are the part of ROS 2D.js. Okay, so we are using ROS-lib.js and ROS 2D.js APIs. Okay, so last we have the 3D.js, which is more interesting. So we can download that and see is anything working. Okay, this is more complicated. I mean functional wise it's the same, but computation wise it is taking more CPU, because the ROS 3D.js is for like visualizing the point cloud, 3D model, all this stuff. Okay, so we can start from the examples. So let me start with what, like URDF. I'm not sure the URDF works, so it will be like visualizing the 3D of URDF. So yeah, so there are some dependency that we need to have, then only these commands will be working. Let me try anyway. Okay, so I'm starting with the first command that they have mentioned. Okay, then the next command is robot state publisher. Okay, that is running. I think we have to install all this dependency anyway. Some of the dependency are already in my PC, that's why it is running. ROS param set GUI is equal true. So what I'm doing is simply like following this instruction, that's it. Then join state publisher. Okay, now tf2 web republisher. I'm not sure this package is available. Yeah, this package is not available, so let me check it is available in Synaptic. tf2 web, I'm not sure, we may have to install it separately. tf2 web, yeah, it is available in Synaptic, so I am just installing it. Okay, so we have installed that dependency. Just a second. No, it took tf2 publisher. After that, yeah, we have the ROS bridge. So this is the final command that we need to set. Yes. So let me start the tf2 publisher. Yes, that is working. So all these mentioned commands that we have ran, And now it's a time for taking the urdf.html. Let's see, I had some problems before this. Let's see, it is working. We got the 3D viewpoint anyway, that is working, okay, but the model is not coming basically. Just a second. Let me try again. I'm just running that first command, this one. Okay. Okay, it is setting. Let me just refresh. And we can also check the inspect console. So if there is any error that we can see. So this was the error that I mentioned, guys. So there is an error called same origin policy disallow reading these things. I think we can solve it, but this is the error I was getting. So I can explain what is happening. So when you load a URDF, there will be mesh files, right? There will be mesh files. So some meshes means 3D CAD files. So in new browsers, okay, these mesh file loading is they actually blocked. Not only mesh file loading, local file loading. Okay, so they actually stop this kind of operation. They are disallowing this kind of resources. So that's why none of the meshes are getting loaded. Okay, so if you have some models like let me try for example R2 R2D2 or like RR board. Let me just check whether that actually work. RR board description. So in this model, in RR board description, there is no external meshes. Just a second. So I'm just loading the RR board and I'm planning to visualize the same here, but that is also not loading. So let me check the console, and it's also seeing some issues with Hokoyo thing. That's why it is not loading. Okay, maybe I can comment it, but anyway, like this is a thing, guys, like we have to do the fix, but we got the 3D viewport. Okay, this is the API in which we can able to visualize a URDF. Okay, so the final demo maybe we can do for some maybe point cloud. I'm not sure it will work or not. Do we have any examples that publish point cloud? Let me check. Let me just clear all these tabs. Yeah, there is. We have some PCL tutorials. Yeah, ROS tutorial, which is doing the point cloud publishing. Yes, we have. So I think we can do a PCL publisher. Okay, so what we are doing is we are going to visualize a PCL or point cloud topic in the web browser. So for that, I'm just we already discussed the PCL tutorial, right? So from that, I'm just publishing the PCL. Okay, PCL in a topic. So if you just check the ROS topic list, you can see the PCL output is the topic. Okay, that is publishing the PCL data. Okay, so in order to run this application, what we need is the ROS bridge. Obviously, let me run it, and we need TF2 web publisher. This node actually publishing TF to the web, I think. Yeah, web publisher, and we have the launch file to start the point cloud that we already done, and we have the topics. Okay, we need to change this topic to what? PCL output. Okay, I'm simply changing this topic into PCL output, so it will be trying to visualize the PCL. I'm not sure it will work or not, but let's see. Okay, let's see whether it is taking. Okay, web browser taking it. Yes, it is. Oh, nice. I mean, I'm doing it for the first time because the point cloud 2 visualization, I think it was not there before, but this seems interesting. Okay, so now like you can see we are visualizing a live point cloud in the web browser. Okay, so interesting, right? Basically we are interacting with ROS in high level, like we are simply, I mean, handling all kind of data in the web browser. Okay, okay, so from this demo we are like stopping the ROS web tools, and then we can start with the Android. Okay, so if you just check the APIs, it's very easy. Like if you want to subscribe to a point cloud, you can simply use ROS 3D point cloud 2 class. Okay, you can simply use it and give the topic name. So it's very easier than working with ROS CPP. I mean, if you want to work with visualization, this is very easy. Okay, okay, so let me know if you have any question in the ROS web tools. So it's very easy to do, guys. You can also like visualize Octree, Octomap. Yeah, so let me know, guys, like if you have any doubts. Okay, if you have any doubts, let me know. Otherwise we can jump into another interesting topic, which is Android applications and ROS, how to do it. Any questions, guys? Any questions? Okay, okay, so if you don't have any questions, we can jump into the next interesting topic, which is ROS Android. Okay, so I'm not planning to show the coding part of it, but just the concept wise discussion and then some good examples. Okay, so this is one interesting example that you can try. Okay, I'm just giving the examples initially. It's in the Play Store as well. Okay, so first let me start with the architecture, and after that I will jump into this app. Okay, this is the reference app that I have to give to you guys. Okay, so how the ROS mobile or ROS Android works. Okay, okay, so just a second. Just a second, guys. Let me just take the code. Okay, yes, yes, so I'm taking a new slide and taking this. So in case of ROS Android, it is very straightforward. Okay, it is very straightforward. Okay, Okay, so the ROS Java, the Android is a very popular operating system, which is basically, uh, developed using Java. And even like in order to create application, you can use Java. Okay, Java like APIs, and also there is Kotlin, which is the newest method, like ROS. I mean Android application development. If you just check, you will get the Java based tutorial mostly, and also like there is a Kotlin based. Yeah, I think just a second. Yeah, let me just take the Kotlin as well. Yeah, so there are mainly two ways to create a Android application. I mean, there are multiple ways, but these are the two popular ways. One is using the latest thing called Kotlin, okay, which is, we are not discussing about it, but what I heard was it is comparatively easy if you compare with Android Java. Okay, so second method is obviously creating application using Java. I'm not sure how many of you work with Android application, but mostly it is like we will have an IDE, and in that IDE we have to start developing apps using Java or Kotlin. Okay, so this thing is like this tutorial, I think, yeah, it is using Java. Maybe I can share Android hello world. Yeah, you can see the Java code here. Okay, so these tutorials are mostly in Java. Okay, so the ROS Java is actually the client API. Okay, client API like ROS CPP or ROS Python. We have ROS Java. So what is the use of ROS Java? Using ROS Java, we can create publishers, subscribers, like action client, action server, all these things using Java programming language. Okay, so the ROS Java, if you simply search for ROS Java, you will get the complete information about it. This is ROS Java documentation. I'm just sharing it. You can see here the ROS Java is an implementation of ROS in pure Java with Android support. Okay, and all other related packages are here. The documentation is also here. Okay, there are some good examples for like publisher and listener. Okay, so just compare with ROS CPP with ROS Java. Okay, you can do whatever you want to do with Java, like the C++. Okay, there are some good examples. There is a set of good examples they have mentioned. Okay, so what you have to do is maybe you have a confusion because the Java programming or the Android application is inside in the mobile phone, right? In your mobile phone. Just a second. So this is in Android phone. Okay, so how we can interact with a PC or a robot? Okay, so it's very easy. Like we will have a Wi-Fi router, right? Wi-Fi router. If it is a robot or a PC, you can simply connect using Wi-Fi. Okay, Wi-Fi or a LAN is fine. So only requirement is it should be in the same network. Okay, it should be in the same network. So just a second, guys. Yeah. So just make sure your Android phone and your ROS PC is on the same network. Okay, and also make sure there is an IP assigned to it. Okay, an IP. So it can be like 192.168.1.101. In this case, for the Android, it may be 1.2. Okay, then only I mean these nodes can able to communicate. Okay, so there will be same network, and then you have to do the ROS network setup. There is a set of instructions that we have to follow in order to, this tutorial is basically checking whether the connection between these two things, like whether you can ping the Android phone from laptop or ping the PC from the Android phone. Okay, so you have to mention some parameters in the laptop, then only it will work. Okay, so if you do that, you can able to communicate from your Android phone to your robot and vice versa. Okay, so what is advantage? I'm not sure you have thought about the advantage of this interface. I will say there is definitely a very big advantage of on using ROS Java, because the Android phone itself, you can use it for a robot. It is having almost all the sensors, like it is having accelerometer, camera, then ambient light sensor, it is having a screen. So even you can use an Android phone as a PC. Okay, as a PC, and this Android phone can communicate to some you can communicate to some Arduino using USB. Okay, maybe Arduino USB. So all these combination are possible. Actually, you can connect because basically Android is from Linux. Okay, it is having the Linux kernel, so you can connect the Android device into a USB, and you can communicate with the Arduino using ROS serial protocol. So there are many opportunities here. Okay, as well as like the main example that I am trying to showcase is the ROS mobile application. Okay, ROS mobile, I think I already shared with you. So the ROS mobile application is actually a client application. It is completely written using ROS Android, ROS Java. So the main agenda is that if you have a simulation, or if you have a robot with you working on ROS, and if you know the IP of the robot, okay, if you like I mentioned on this, okay, if you know the IP, you can simply put the IP here and you can connect to that robot. Okay, you can establish the connection, and then what happening is that you can control the robot. Like from this app, you can provide the command velocity, so the robot will move. So it's like a joystick. Okay, you can get the joystick value. You can give the joystick value. You can get the map, GPS, camera. You can even create the mapping. If you want to create the map of a surrounding, you can do that. Then there are multiple options. So if you want to test this application, just go to the Play Store and you can install it. And the source code of this application is also open, because there is no point in discussing the code because it is Java. So I'm just giving some good reference for you guys. There is IEEE paper, I mean a article also regarding this project. So basically you can have a full control on your mobile robot. That is the objective of this application. And then you can take this project and edit it. Okay, you can simply edit it. I have actually tried this application, which is very good, and you can also see there are like a good number of stars, like 340 stars. It's actually I mean using a lot of people. Okay, so so basically I think I have shared most of the stuff, I guess, like yeah, they are also providing some good tutorial, guys. I'm only seeing now. So for example, if you have a differential drive robot, and if you want to communicate with the robot, what are the things that you have to do? Okay, so that is actually interesting. So and there are some example application as well. So if you want to work with a differential drive robot or simulation, you can run the simulation. Then yeah, basically like running the simulation. I could able to show it if I'm working in the real PC, but currently I'm working with the virtual machine, so can't able to connect to the same network. So there are some good number of tutorial, guys. You can just follow it, and it will be useful to test the robot if you want to map it all in all these scenario. We can use it. Okay, yes, so that's it, guys. You can definitely check this. It's a very cool application. Okay, you can use it for joystick control in order to see the camera view. Then I think you can also create some custom UI. Okay, custom UI, that also useful. Okay, okay, so that's it, guys. So I think we have discussed the web application and Android. And yeah, so let me know if you have any questions. So I think this will be like a starting point for you to start working on both of these things. Okay, obviously, like in order to work with Android, you should know the programming, but after learning Android, you can switch to here, and then you can start working on your own Android application. Okay, okay, guys, so time for questions. So next week I'm planning to like discuss two chapters, two last final chapters, which is ROS drones and ROS state machines. After that, we will be starting with the ROS 2. Maybe not, not immediately. At the end of February, I guess. There are some students are planning to enroll to the ROS 2. I am also like putting some yeah some posts regarding the same. I'm starting with the ROS 2 course, so some more people can join. So let me know if you have any question, guys, related to the web and Android applications. Any questions? Okay, so I think if you are okay with it, we can conclude. So thanks for attending, guys. So next week I will be coming up with the two chapters, the ROS drones and the state machines. Okay then. So see you next week, and good night, everyone. Bye everyone.